Viewers, a major diplomatic twist has emerged in the Middle East. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has formally apologized to Qatar for the attack on Doha earlier this month, an attack that eliminated 5 Palestinian resistance members and 1 Qatari security officer. The apology came during a 3-way phone call between Netanyahu, Qatari Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman, and U.S. President Donald Trump. According to Qatar's official news agency, Netanyahu admitted that Israel had violated Qatar's sovereignty and assured Doha that such an incident would never be repeated. On the surface, Netanyahu's words sounded like remorse. He said Israel targets extremists, not Qatar, and that he regretted the loss of Qatari lives. But the reality is very different. Netanyahu is not apologizing because he cares about innocent life or because of economic ties with Doha. The truth is that the Israeli Prime Minister has found himself cornered like never before. For 2 years, Netanyahu justified Israel's aggression in Gaza under the pretext of self-defense. But Qatar is not Gaza. Qatar is one of the safest and most non-violent countries in the world, known globally for its role as a mediator, not a fighter. It has hosted negotiations, pushed for ceasefires, and acted as a bridge between warring sides. So when Israel attacked Doha on September 9th, it was seen as an attack not on Palestinian resistance, but on the peacemaker of the region, and that shook the international community. President Trump himself, usually one of Netanyahu's strongest allies, reportedly slammed him brutally over the strike. Arab leaders condemned the attack, emergency summits were called, and one message became clear: attacking Qatar is not acceptable. This miscalculation backfired badly. The attack on Doha isolated Netanyahu further, pushing numerous countries toward granting recognition of Palestine in retaliation. In other words, his strike on Qatar turned into a strike on his own political survival. And here's the irony. While Netanyahu is now trying to reduce the backlash by offering apologies, this very move is angering the far-right ministers inside his fragile coalition. Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich mocked the apology, calling it a lower demonstration. National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir went further, calling the Doha attack moral and fair, labeling Qatar as a horror state. These voices represent the very bloc Netanyahu depends on to stay in power. So, Netanyahu is trapped. If he apologizes, he angers his far-right allies at home and risks losing his position. If he doesn't, he risks total isolation abroad, with even Washington showing signs of impatience. Netanyahu never apologized for carelessly ending 65,000 lives in Gaza, for attacking all of Gaza's hospitals, for ordering his IDF personnel to attack starving civilians in the head while they were desperately trying to get some flour for their dying children, for attacking 7 nations at the same time, and for not apologizing when the entire world called him a war criminal. This means he never will. He considers his deeds to be honorable rather than barbarous. In truth, this apology isn't about peace or humanity. It's a desperate attempt to buy time, to stop the bleeding of support internationally while clinging to his fragile government at home. By striking Qatar, the peacemaker, Netanyahu only succeeded in uniting the world against him and in strengthening the cause of Palestine. And perhaps this is the greater lesson. When a leader wages war recklessly, even his own actions eventually turn against him. Perhaps this is just the start for Netanyahu and his ministers, who seem to embrace violence as they find themselves cornered, facing humiliation and economic collapse, and ultimately left isolated in the end. That's all for today. If you found the video informative, please like it and subscribe to the channel. Jazakum Allahu khairan.